guys and gals, welcome to the Oxford Holy Club, a place where we ready ourselves to give an answer for the hope that's in us. We will also try to answer your questions, random questions from the interwebs, and have some fun too. So put some seatbelts on your ears because we're in for a wild ride. Well, hello, Oxford Holy Club. I am one quarter. We're not doing numbers or fractions. I'm your host, Brad Silliker. Oh boy.
I'm the 50th percentile of your host, Lucas Candy.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Matthew. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hey gentlemen, how you guys doing? Save it for the catch up.
Yeah, that's right. Why are we gonna ruin it?
Yeah, no spoilers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 98, Fishing, Fighting, and Valuations. I just like saying valuations. It makes me feel like I'm on Shark Tank. All right, gentlemen. We got a jam-packed episode, so let me just go through a couple of things real quick. Thank you, Lucas, for sharing the stream. I see it coming up on the screen now. Appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find out more about what you accidentally stumbled into, you can go to our website on purpose, oxfordholyclub.com, and find out all about us as individuals, what we do. You can get lots of stuff there. You can browse the merch and many more things. If audio is more of your speed and you'd rather just listen to our voices instead of seeing our faces, you can do that as well, and we are on all the major podcast players. But if you do that only, you're going to miss something very special called the Afterglow that we do here and there, just kind of sporadically, where it's a episode after an episode type of thing.
It's my favorite part of what we do, and it's not even a part of what we do.
Hey, Krista, thanks for liking the stream. Glad that you're here. And so we have one.
That's only here for the Afterglow.
We actually have an Afterglow happening this episode, and we cannot wait to get there. So the biggest thing, too, is if you could like our Facebook page. So thank you, Scotty, for liking. Like the Facebook page so that you get notified when we go live. And don't forget to share each time we put a post up. If you would share that for us, it would help spread the podcast out into the masses, and more people would get to know. Thank you, Scott, for sharing. Really appreciate that. It's like you're listening and doing exactly what I'm saying as I'm saying it. Don't forget, you can send in your donation specifically to bradsilliker@gmail.com. Only, hey, Ryan.
It's my new background. He's hypnotized.
Hey,
he's hypnotized.
Listen, Ryan, the reason I stopped chatting was because I was getting prepped for this. So glad that you're here too, man. Nice to hear from you. Andrew, man, come on.
I am Andrew, and I'm going to do the catch-up. Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't there a thing?
Flawless.
We're almost 100 into this, and you have the notes in front of you.
100's when you really hit your stride at 100.
Thing?
Right?
Where's the thing that comes up? Oh, there's no sound effects.
There's no not for the catch-up.
Oh, my goodness.
Man. Okay. I'll go. See you guys.
Have you been having purchase troubles?
You want me to go first?
Andrew, so help me. Take the reins and drive this thing.
Okay. We're going to talk about
he
things
does this every week, though. We know that, right? You got to realize that every time it comes up to him, he's like, oh.
I think it's a bit. I think it's a bit.
Yeah? Okay. I'll give it to him. It's funny.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story, and you can stop me if this is getting too complaining. I'm really going to try and keep it just like impartial, because I want you guys to tell me. I want you to tell me if I'm justified in my frustration.
Oh boy,
this is awesome!
This is what we trained for.
Good. It's not that good. I just don't want to come off as like whiny baby, so I just want you to stop me if it's getting that way.
All right, go ahead.
And I'm not going to tell you what I bought either, because I don't want to it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But I bought some.
We'll be the judge.
I bought something, and it was expensive. It was an expensive item.
A van.
Now.
Okay, give us a range.
Like under 1,000, between 5,000 and 1,000.
Okay.
But it's a cheaper of one of these things. So it was expensive for me, but in terms of like other people, I bought a camera. So I won't tell you where I bought the camera or whatever.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter.
That was painful. Okay. That's cool.
I just don't want to I'm not trying to bash anybody or what I mean.
Hold on. Was it a Kodak? Was it a Kodak? That might be That might be your problem.
Anyway, so I bought it through an authorized dealer. So I just communicated with him, gave me the price. He ordered it from the company, and the company shipped it directly to me. I Yes, sir.
This sounds like what I've heard of being called a bookie. Did you deal with a bookie?
No, this was a legitimate thing.
Understood.
Okay, and I'll
Legitimate
already
business.
Whatever
say,
it's called.
Andrew, I'll already say this, is that if they're an authorized dealer and you have a complaint, it's already legitimate. But go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, so bought it, shipped, got here really fast. Like I shipped on a Tuesday, I got it Thursday. Was super impressed. So, anyways, open it. It's broke, brand new. It's broke.
How?
Well, it like works, but one of the dials on it, it's just dead. Doesn't work. So immediately contact him. He like calls me. He's super helpful. Like the whole time he was like back and forth with me, calling me up right away anytime I had a question. Yeah, that looks like it's dead. He made sure, like, did some stuff with me. Said, okay, we're gonna have to get that sent back. I thought at that moment, okay, like I'm gonna have a new camera tomorrow. Like
Right.
this was unfortunate, but no big deal. They'll fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's the next week. I'm still waiting for instructions on what to do in terms of how to get rid of the old camera and stuff. I emailed him several times. Finally, after almost another week, he gives me the instructions. I have to mail it back. They won't send me a new camera until they get the old one back, verify that it's broken. So he's like, well, I can send you another one out now, but you have to buy it again. And then eventually you'll get your money back from the old one. I didn't want to do that for the longest time, but it took so long for this to happen. And I bought this basically for work, right? So anyways, finally he gives me instructions. I say, okay, send me another one. And that was last Tuesday. So then based on the shipping of the last one, I thought I'm going to have this by Friday.
Right.
They should have really overnighted it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Friday comes, nothing. Yesterday, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to message him, just see if he has a tracking number, because why didn't they send me a tracking number? He calls me, says, oh, yeah, they're going to ship that out to you today, but they're going to ship it overnight, so you'll have it tomorrow. I'm like, oh, well, what's the hesitation? And this whole time, every time I ask him, like, why is it taking so long? He's throwing COVID-19 at me, which, what do you say to that, right? Anyways, finally,
say there's conspiracy.
Like,
No, stop.
There is no conspiracy.
anyways, finally, I
It's real.
get the new camera this afternoon.
Please don't be broke.
works.
Please don't be broke.
It's fine.
Oh,
But am I
God.
justified?
Yes.
Yes.
That's frustrating.
Frustration? Like,
Yeah, that's
because
frustrating. That's
how
bad
do you
customer service.
counteract like the COVID? Oh, COVID-19. It's hard. Like he does. I think he's just throwing it at me because he doesn't really know.
Oh, yeah.
He's not even at the company. He's like at his own job, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, that was my
Yeah,
whole saga.
Yeah, no, you're justified.
Yeah,
you know
very
what?
much so.
The time I was the most impressed with customer service was I think I was in university and I was home for the summer, and I had my first iPod. And I remember being blown away because I lived in the middle of the country out nowhere, and I remember my iPod battery. It was one of the big square ones, right? Wouldn't keep it charged for more than like an hour. I had a brand new iPod before I even shipped the old one back within 2 days. I remember
That's
that was the
impressive.
first time I was ever blown away by customer service.
And that was my expectation. Like they're gonna fix this now because they did not.
Yeah, it's a frustrating one.
Someday I'll tell you the story about my iPad.
Mr. McPhail's not on our side. He said you need to stop crying about your camera. You got it, and we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Matt,
But I bought it. I bought it basically for the church to use it for that stuff. So each
Did you
week
tell
I
them that?
didn't
Because
have
that
it.
probably would have hurried up the shipping. Yeah,
Well, yeah, he knew that, and
it's
so
the
that was
Lord's camera.
part of the problem. Was I'm representing my church right now. Every time I talk to him, like just
He's like, which denomination? I need
just
to
say
know.
thank you. Just say thank you and
Thank
hang
you.
up.
Thank you.
someday, Matt, I'll tell you the story, and I probably already have, of when I tried to ship back an iPod to Apple. And
Didn't go so good.
It was, you know what? I got it. Got a brand new iPod. Man, I haven't said that word in a long time. But it was the customer sales representative that I had. So, and he's in chat right now. But I didn't know that at the time. And this customer sales rep gave me quite the runaround.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think we've lost a fan in Mike today. Here we got 4 guys who've never worked customer service.
What do you think ministry is? You don't think I don't hear?
Customer service. Well, your boss is the Lord.
Natalie,
Oh,
welcome,
that's
welcome, welcome.
Too funny. Too good. Okay,
Anyways,
I'll go.
Lucas.
Okay.
Lucas. No, I'm in charge. Lucas is next.
Clearly.
It's funny. My week's been pretty slow, and I was like, okay, well, today's Costco day, so I'm like, surely I'll get myself into some kind of shenanigans, or we'll get told or whatever. No, it was super uneventful, so I have nothing that exciting.
You were walking down the aisles the wrong way on purpose, and
Yeah,
everyone's
doing
like,
little
"Oh, let me get out of your
dances.
way."
Yeah, no, the only thing was we did a big room shuffle this weekend. So we basically, our kids, 2 of them were bunking together, even though we had a guest room across the hall just because it's social or whatever, but they keep each other up talking. So we've separated them, but now every night, Melissa and I'll be sitting downstairs and we'll hear like, they keep sneaking across the hall to bother each other usually.
Nice.
So yeah, so there you go. That's all there is with me. And I'm going to cut it off right there so I don't ramble. Next.
Wow. Who's next, Andrew?
Matthew.
This is painful. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're kind of gonna run out of the update stuff while we're in isolation, because it's
I'm
just
pretty
day
much
after
it.
day after day. No, for us, well, there was some accomplishments in the raising a child document or portfolio or
Documentary. There's cameras.
I got
everywhere.
number two off of the training wheels, and
Nice.
so I've got both of them off the training wheels now, and it's fantastic. And the other thing is skipping rope is now the big thing here in our household. So I purchased a skipping rope for myself on Amazon. Aaron also has a skipping rope, and the girls. Okay, my kids just turned 5, so we've got this little running thing going where we see who can get the record for the most skips in a row without stopping. First, it's one of the kids has the record.
Quick question.
They just turned 5. Yeah.
Please tell me you're doing this in your front lawn, so everybody can see you, like everyone's out there doing, this, like that'd be great.
Not me. No.
A revolution.
No. There aren't enough Spanx in the world to make.
I was gonna say, did the skipping rope come with its own skipping Spanx? But you beat me to it.
We might be onto something there. Skipping Spanx.
Trademark Ultra Holy Club.
Trademark that, baby. Skipping Spanx.
Let me get to the merch page here so we can mock up.
Wow. So anyway, So it's Sadie holds the record. Addison is in second place. Guess how many skips in a row my just turned 5-year-old got? Take a guess.
25.
If it's compared to
Okay.
my
140.
children skipping, 1, because that's where my kids are at right now.
So they got the athletic ability of their father.
They
Is
sure
that what
did.
you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadie has 35 in a row. I was
That's
blown
impressive.
away. Completely blown away. And Addison's right on her tail with 30. Anyway,
Andrew, what
I
was
was
your
super
guess?
impressed. I mean,
What are you up to?
Me? I get like 11 or 12, and I'm just like, oh, why am I hurting so much? Why is my skin hurting?
You've got the mental game down. It's just the physical part that's,
Oh yeah. Actually, Aaron makes fun of me because I do some weird thing with my hands. So when I'm skipping, I like turn them in. I don't know, something like this.
Can you show it?
It's called a Dutch twist. It's some kind of maneuver.
So whatever's
That's
happening, I'm
great.
skipping, and then my hands flip in, and then the rope crosses in front of me, and it just hits me. And so, anyway, I'm working on it, guys. I'm
There you
working
go.
on it.
Squat
That
skipping
was-
Spanx.
That was the big excitement here for us. Had the smoker going again this week. And listen, I'm going to bring this up. Lucas brought it up. I think it's a fantastic idea. You two didn't respond. I want my own barbecuing segment through the summer months here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want my, and it's
Can
going
you
to
be live
called-
on location?
It's
That
it's
would
not
be
going to be live on
awesome.
vacation, but I am going to produce a 30-second video clip
I like it.
of me barbecuing and talking people through it. And it's going to be called barbecuing. That's what I'm calling it. So
And is it
can
gonna?
we have
It's gonna
that?
be not like fancy, right? It's
oh
gonna
my-
be like aimed towards like dummies like me who are barbecuing and doing it wrong.
Matt,
like putting
this is-
barbecue sauce on steak, right?
Matt,
Yeah.
this is perfect because the name works with barbecuing, but also with the question and answer portion of it, right?
Yes, barbecuing. Question.
Man,
Okay.
unreal.
All right, so can we have that segment?
That's fine. I was thinking right before we got on
That's
the air,
fine.
and we didn't. Oh, I think it's great. We didn't have time to talk. Andrew, you need your own segment. Lucas has potent ponderables. Matt has
Sports
and Star stuff. Andrew, you had the weight loss
Oh,
one.
I got catch up. I'm pretty good at the catch up, right?
Yeah, I think Andrew's got to prove himself here before
gonna
we
call
start
you
handing
Heinz.
out. Before we start handing out segments.
Seems like a lot of work
well,
to have your own segment.
You know what though? Because
it's so much fun, Andrew.
I think
I'm
if you
just
had your
happy
own,
to be here.
if you had your own, Andrew, then you take ownership in it and you would run with it. The catch up, I put that in the notes, and then you're like, oh look, the text is in red. I'm supposed to read it.
Oh yeah, you just the whole continuity of thing. Tasha, fat chance. I'm not bringing the skipping rope to work.
No way he came up on that his own.
Are you talking about the barbecuing? I absolutely came up with that on my own. I'm witty.
Your name works
also-
with a lot of things.
Yeah,
It really
Barber
does, though.
Dash.
Yeah,
that's where
Jeff LeBlanc thinks that for a man of our carriage if they hit 20
Carriage.
jump ropes, their heart will explode. So just be
Well,
careful.
Listen, I'm telling you, after 11 or 12 skips, I'm in a full sweat. I'm in full lather after 11 or 12 skips.
I don't know
It's-
if structurally my house can handle me skipping that much.
Oh no, I'm out on the cement pad.
It's a basement. Yeah, you gotta have a
Cement pad.
foundation.
I'm on the
Oh, yeah.
cement pad outside.
You poured a
okay?
pad just for me to skip.
That's
Just a
Just
skip.
one little round circle.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you can't skip inside anyway. The ceiling's not tall enough. Maybe for you it is, but not for me.
Yeah, you're tall. I'm short.
there you go.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so can I start that barbecuing segment? Barbecuing?
Do it.
Yeah.
All right.
All in
I'll-
favor?
All right.
Aye.
Good
was
stuff.
born.
It's happening.
Brad,
We
what's
got a
going
lot of
on in your
people
life?
there.
Oh,
We
thank
let's say-
you, Andrew.
Let's say hello to a few people really quick. We got
Hold
a ton
on,
of
hold
people
on.
jumping on.
Andrew, who's in charge here, is tossed to me.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Go ahead, Andrew.
Well, he already
I think
did
we
it.
should say hello to a few people.
Oh, that seems totally out of nowhere.
Say hi, Sonia. Sonia's joining us again. This is 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
Oh, very
Scott. Scott, faithful Scott. Scott, you were so faithful.
You know what? I followed a totally different. I followed a pizza blogger from Fredericton because Scott told me to.
Wow.
And now I can't get enough. The dude just goes and buys pizzas, stands basically either in his backyard or outside of them, eats the pizza. Did you ever watch Community with the old guy that
He's
would do
just
frozen
copying
pizza
off
reviews?
of Bleacher
Oh, yeah,
Report.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, they did
Anyway,
that?
Yeah.
it was
one bite, one slice, one bite.
Thanks, Sonia. Thanks for the like. Okay, so gentlemen, here's what's going on with me. It may or may not be apparent, but I shaved my beard this week.
Looks good.
So you did.
No, you trimmed your beard. You didn't shave your
Well,
beard.
true.
I know this because I was watching your church service and you had a really awkward interaction with your pastor about your beard and haircut.
Well, there's a long story. Thank you, Greg Jones, by the way, for the like. So the crazy thing is when you live with something for so long, when it's gone, you're not used to it being gone. And so I've heard of people that when they lose a limb, they have like a phantom limb and they still feel like it's there. I'm telling you, it's the
Let's tiptoe into this.
well, it's the exact same. It's definitely not. But I've had phantom beard moments where like I'll be shampooing and then go to shampoo
stroke.
my beard and it's not
You
there.
get way too
Or-
much. You
or-
get way too much.
Or I wake up in the night reaching for my beard and it's not there to comfort me. And you've all seen the videos where like somebody goes to they wake up and they roll over and the person's not there anymore and it's just a sad moment. That's
You've
me
got
for my
an
beard.
inappropriate relationship with your beard.
yeah,
don't know.
Shaving was the right call.
It serves one purpose, and that one purpose is to cover all of this chin and neck
Yeah, yeah.
right here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's jowl-flage is what it is.
No,
So there you go.
That's a good one.
Man, we're coming up with them tonight. Anyway,
Hold it tonight.
that was it. My son looked at me and he wasn't trying to hurt my feelings, but he it's different for them, right? They're used to me with the beard and so when I came out, actually the first thing I did was I took the trimmers and went like this right up the middle and left it long down here and then got my kids around and but when it was all done, he's like he's just looking at me and he won't stop and he goes,
Don't care for it.
It looks, and these were his words, it looks cringy. Like, well, thanks very much. All right, Lucas, it is time for you, my man, with
World's got some questions and we're gonna try and solve them now. And here we go with Lucas and he's got potent ponderables.
All right, for our potent ponderable tonight, the age-old question is, would you rather have the nicest house or the least nice house in the neighborhood? And let me kind of give it some parameters here. So we'll take your exact house you're living in now, and we're going to drop it into, like, pick it up and drop it in a different neighborhood. Would you rather it be the nicest house by, I'm going to say 30%, noticeably nicer than everyone else in your neighborhood? Or would you rather be less nice than everyone else in your neighborhood by about like 30%, like quite noticeably different? Would you rather be the nicer one or the least nice one, and why? Let's throw it to Brad to start off.
Would your taxes be lower if it wasn't such a great property compared to everything else around you?
Well, I mean, I think neighborhood doesn't impact taxes, so
Depends what your neighbors are, I suppose.
it does. It does.
What
depend,
if your neighbor is some crazy awesome development that's taking place? I don't know. I got nothing. I would much rather. I think I would rather be in the 30% not nicer. That everything else around me is nicer. Because you know what? If I'm nice to my neighbors, I can go over and enjoy theirs.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I want to be the nicer one, but it's not a materialistic thing.
Of course.
We just genuinely love like hosting. We love having people over. Like
I'll go to your place.
We all love doing that kind of stuff. Well, no, people I invite.
Well,
I like having the people I invite come over.
Thanks, man.
And so I would go with the nicer, but not for any reason other than just simply.
But your house is the same, so you just think people will be more apt to come to the nice house in the neighborhood as opposed to the less nice house in the neighborhood.
But then you got to wonder.
I talked about my neighborhood last week. I don't think we would care. We don't matter. Like, we really don't care about that stuff.
But do you think other people do? If the whole premise is you want to bring them in, are they coming for you or your home?
Clearly,
so it's good to have a little carrot on the stick, you know.
That's good to have a carrot on a stick.
Lure them in.
Sure. Okay. Look at my nice home. Come on in now. Yeah.
How about you, Andrew?
I'd go like the not nicer house in the. I'm assuming would be a nicer neighborhood.
Yeah,
I would take nice neighborhood.
Yeah, your house is the current house, so it's not that your house isn't nice. It's just that would you rather be like outshone by your neighbors or kind of be like the nice house in the neighborhood?
But my assumption is the trade-off is you're in like a nicer neighborhood.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're the nicer house amongst all the crappy houses, you're probably in like a sucky neighborhood. If you're the sucky house in the nice houses, so I would take the nice neighborhood.
Nice neighborhood.
I'm happy with my house, so I would take it in the nice neighborhood.
I would go personally. I would stay in obviously I'm staying in my house. I would rather be 30% less and in the nicer neighborhood because I can upgrade my house like theoretically.
Hold on. You're twisting it.
No, I'm saying like if you're looking to buy a house, would you rather buy like the runt of the litter in the neighborhood or like the Taj Mahal in the neighborhood? I would rather go for that because theoretically, not that I'm a handyman, but there's room to grow. Whereas, and I know someone who's done this, they bought a house that was like nicer than every other house in the neighborhood by a factor of like 100, basically. It was like twice as nice as the rest of the neighborhood. But the problem is no one wants to buy a house that's twice as nice. Most people don't. That they've like hit the ceiling in like house value. I'd rather have a little room to grow. Not that I'm adding a lot of value to my house, but theoretically that's where my head's at.
This was a weak ponderable to begin with, and then Lucas went and changed the rules after we all gave our answer.
Oh, man.
I just want to acknowledge Jeff LeBlanc though for a second. He comes to again. We're bringing it back to the barbecuing. He comes for the ribs and the friendship. Jeff, you're a true friend. You're a true friend. I mean that. As much as
did you see Scott's name for your segment?
Scott?
Did we see?
Yeah, barbecue and A.
Oh, barbecue and A.
That's good.
It's not bad. Barbecuing is still the one.
Still the go-to.
All right.
Still the one I want.
And yes, I can back Jeff up. Barbie, you're a great host. So you have a wonderful home.
Thanks.
There you go.
I haven't had the pleasure.
Now you've made it awkward because I've never invited the other two over.
Haven't had the pleasure.
just in time.
I'm pretty sure
for Smorp.
I'm pretty sure the last
I've been
time
to your old house.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm pretty sure the last time that I was at your place, invited, and we weren't just roommates, was back at when you were living at home in PEI, and I ordered credit cards because we thought that would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the last time Andrew wasn't his last house before this one living with you in the basement of that other house?
No, he had.
I had one spot after that.
Oh, you had a transition house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I needed.
Oh my word, Matt! Yeah. We're tossing to you, Matt. I put the graphic up. We're going into the smorp, my dude.
A halfway house. That's great. Okay, well, we are going to move into our smorp. Honestly, it's become. I got to be honest. When we first started doing these, I was kind of like, this has become one of my favorite segments of the whole thing, and I think it should be. But no, I genuinely enjoy them. And so the smorp, for anybody that isn't familiar with it, is just taking a piece of scripture, reading through it once, maybe twice, okay? And then we break it down, and SMORE stands for something, of course. It's scripture, message, obedience, repentance, and prayer. And so we just kind of walk through each of those parts. We'd love for you to contribute any way that you want to. If it's in the chat here, or you can message us privately in through our email and messaging. Absolutely. That's we want you to be involved with all of that. So I'm going to read the scripture tonight. We're going from John 21, 4-8. Randy's on here. He'll be glad we're not in Ecclesiastes again. He had a comment about that last week. Ecclesiastes again. All right. So here we go, Randy. I'm going from John 21, 4-8. It says this: just as day was breaking, Jesus stood on the shore. Yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, "Children, do you have any fish?" They answered him, "No." He said to them, "Cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." So they cast it, and now they were not able to haul it in because of the quantity of fish. That disciple whom Jesus loved, therefore, said to Peter, "It is the Lord." When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself into the sea. The other disciples came in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not far from land, but about 100 yards off. All right, one more time. From John 21. Just as the day was breaking, Jesus stood on the shore, yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, "Children, do you have any fish?" And they answered him, "No." He said to them, "Cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." So they cast it, and now they were not able to haul it in because of the quantity of fish. That disciple whom Jesus loved, therefore said to Peter, "It is the Lord." When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself into the sea. The other disciples came into the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not far from land, but about 100 yards off. So the first part that we want to look at is in Scripture. So what words or phrases or observations, thoughts kind of stood out to you about the nature and the work of God that you could see in these scriptures? Brad, fire us up.
Sure. I wasn't busy getting it into chat. Why don't you toss to someone else and give me a second?
All right, I'll hop in there. I really liked it. I was reading this earlier today. The whole thing where he just jumps in the water. Like it's not like, okay, well, come on, guys, let's get it back to shore. And just kind of waiting and kind of doing the kind of socially normal thing to do. He didn't care. He just wanted to get in there and get to Jesus as quickly as possible. And I remember when I was in I was probably like 11 or 12. I can't remember how old it was. We had this like interim pastor at our church, and he was awesome. It was the first pastor that I'd ever kind of started paying attention to what he said, and I really enjoyed his speaking. Gordon Horseman, I'm pretty sure was what his name was. Anyway, and he was talking about a message similar to this. He says, "Listen, when God tells you to do something, you don't, kind of dilly-dally. It's like, if God tells me to go to that door, I'm going right to that door." And then he gets down and he walks, like, because our church had like two like side pews and then a center pew, a big long one, and he walked over top of the pews all the way to the back door, and everyone had to like get out of the way. He's like, "And you go right down there." And I guess he like annoyed some people, but I was like, this guy is awesome. I am on board with this guy.
I know Gordon.
Yeah,
I'm trying to picture Gordon doing that now.
Not now. No, he is a top shelf guy. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
I think the thing with these scriptures, there's actually a ton of huge themes in this.
Yeah.
So kind of what you were talking to, I think it's important to look at some of the finer details of this, Lucas, because here it says, okay, that disciple whom Jesus loved, therefore said to Peter, "It is the Lord." So now when Peter heard this, it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself into the sea. Have you ever gone into the water with clothing on?
Clothes on, yeah.
Right? So this is the idea. Peter knew what he was about to do. He was about to jump in the water so that he could go to Jesus, right? Typically, if you're going to jump in the water, you don't put more clothing on, but it was out of this reverence that he had for Christ and this idea of knowing who he was. And even though this was a cultural thing, of put on, today's cultural thing, well, not even so much. It's like, oh, take off your hat in church,
Right.
Where then it was like, be clothed, be covered when you're in the presence of the Lord, or the presence of anyone actually that to be revered.
Right.
He knew he was about to jump in the water, threw on the coat out of respect, got in the water. I mean, imagine how much harder that was, but it was still out of him doing what he felt he needed to do in order to come before God. That one there, that's a big part of it for me. The other part of it too, which I thought is, which I think is really cool, is this whole idea that they couldn't tell that it was Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't, because they couldn't see him. I mean, there was something there, but there was someone there. They couldn't see Jesus, but simply by the way he moved, and simply by what he had caused and set into motion, they knew he was present. They knew that he was there. In this idea of, hey guys, try the other side of your boat, pull it in. Holy snap, we got all these fish. That's Jesus. That's, you know, that connection of not always seeing. And this is kind of going to move into the next section here, so I'm going to save it, but there was an understanding that came along with that.
For me, I'm going to because it dovetails with mine, was what stood out to me was that the disciples did not know it was Jesus. And that phrase stood out to me, and I'll get into why in a little bit, but the fact that these guys for 3 years walked with him, were taught by him, you know, and yet, and this is, you know, by this time he'd already been crucified and was resurrected and was appearing to them. They'd gone back to fishing. Their expectation of who Jesus was and what he was doing wasn't met, and they went back to work. And this is what Jesus rolls up on. And even though they spent all that time, it says that they didn't recognize him. And, you know, Matt, you said, hey, Jesus talks and he says, hey, do you guys have any fish? You'd think they would have just caught it from his voice. It says that they were 100 yards off. And then they answered no. And in the message part, I'll wait, because it's pretty significant what's taking place here in terms of following Jesus and recognizing him or not. But at least that, in terms of what he's been speaking to me anyway. So
yeah, well, I don't want to like, because I don't want to steal what you're about to say. So because I feel like you're going in this way, but that's basically what stood out to me as well. Is, you know, they didn't really, he was there. They didn't really know it was him. And I guess this kind of goes into the message. So if we want to kind of go that way, but essentially,
right into the message.
Yeah, Matt,
you know,
message.
they're not, they really should have known who he was, even after he spoke. But it's almost like that theme of when Jesus came back, people did not expect him to be there. They weren't looking for him. They thought there's no possible way. And so they just didn't even give it a second thought. They weren't looking for Jesus, and they didn't think it was possible for him to be there. So why would they think that way? And I think that goes along with, you know, a lot of our lives or people's lives that don't have Christ. And, you know, if you're not looking for him, if you don't expect him to be there, if you're not searching for him, you know, you're not going to find him. He's not just going to be all of a sudden there. There needs to be that understanding that, you know, he is real and anything's possible, because they just never even imagined it'd be possible he would be back. Right.
And like, just kind of going off what you're saying, for me, I look at this and Jesus comes in, and we know that Jesus was a carpenter. He wasn't a fisherman. And these guys were fishermen that, you know, Jesus was crucified on the cross, and they didn't recognize him when he came back. And so they're like, okay, well, we did all that. That's over. So let's go back to what we know. Let's do what we did before. And we're going back to fishing. And Jesus rolls up and says, any fish? Nope. Oh, hey, let me tell you what to do. Cast your net on the other side. And so they cast it. Now, I don't want to put something that's not in Scripture into, but you've got to wonder if they thought, like, who is this guy telling us to cast our nets on the other side? We do this day in and day out. We know where the fish are, where the fish aren't, and how big is, like, the boat's not that big for there to be no fish there and so much fish there, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking this huge space, and yet Jesus tells them to do something that they would have never done before. I'm gonna get you to do something that is outside of your comfort zone, that all your training and all your ability and everything that you know says don't do, but we're gonna go there. We're gonna do this, and and so they do it, and it's because of this, they catch these fish. It's this huge quantity of fish that they bring in that all of a sudden they're like, oh my word, of course it's him, because it couldn't happen any other way with him. And for me right now, not that I want to make everything about COVID, but the time that we're in right now, doing what we've always done just isn't working in a lot of places. And we go, where's Jesus in this? And some people's expectation of who he is hasn't been met. So they're like, I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. And they miss the fact that Jesus is right there going, hey, cast your net on this other side. Yeah, you don't have the training for it. Yeah. Or, well, I mean, they were trained to fish, but I think you catch the impulse here. Yeah. And just see what will happen. And then you recognize, well, the Lord is at work. He is doing things. And I thought it was odd, Matt, and I'm glad you talked about it, about the fact that Peter put on his outer garment when he jumped into the water. Yeah. And threw himself. And then the other disciples came into the boat dragging the net full of fish. It needed more people because of how much fish there were. And then you can read further down about the interaction with them. And it's neat too, and it's a little bit down further when they're actually eating the fish, when they're actually enjoying this, and they're breaking bread together and they're eating, that they all recognize him in that moment.
Yeah, I think too, to your point, is there's an element of trust in there,
big time,
of saying like, okay, let's try it the other side. Do you know what I mean? And then exactly what you had said again. There's this reminder of that sometimes we can't do it alone. That is that. Even when God has called us to do something, it doesn't mean that we're on our own. It's not, I don't
think we're supposed to be.
Piece.
I don't think we're supposed to be. I think our call is in the context of community always.
Yes. And that reinforces that, is that, hey, Jesus told me, throw the net over this side, pull all these fish in. But wait, he's asked me to pull all these fish in. I can pull all these fish in, but no, here's my community. Here's my group of people who are of like mind, and they're here, and they, like it said, they went out and they helped them haul it in, and so it's this idea of trusting God, trusting his people, and looking and relying on both of those.
So, not that I don't want to take anyone else's time, but it just keeps coming to my mind, Matt, this idea of community. And right now, what would it look like right now for the churches to work together to cast their net on the other side and work in community and bring in that? I mean, we know that the harvest field is ripe, right? Mm-hmm. But it says that the workers are few. Well, oh my word, there's a lot of workers out there. How many Christians in the world are there? There's a lot. But how many of us are actually pulling on that net? And I'm speaking for myself. Yeah. I can't.
No, and you're right. And Scott's got a great comment on this. The enemy of all of that is comfort.
100%.
Yeah, just and Scott nailed it here. It's just this idea that we're too comfortable in this, or set in our ways. Of like,
so
Jesus,
something. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but something Brad said earlier, basically talking about the disciples spending all this time with Jesus, and then Jesus dies on the cross, and then they go back to what's comfortable, what they know.
Yeah,
and and how often do we do that? We hit that bump where things are going good and awesome. Mm-hmm. You hit that bump and you're like, well, I'm going to go back to what makes me feel good, and I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah. This whole idea of just, but Jesus, I always throw it over the left side of the boat. Like, what are you asking me here? I don't know, and that's so many things in my own life that I look at where I'm just like, but that's not how I do things. And I've seen this work before. I kind of want to stick with this.
I think it is important that we get to, because people will look at that and go, yeah, it's a great story. What does that look like practically in the life of a believer? And the reality is Jesus isn't physically standing on a shore right now telling us to cast on the other side of a net or whatever, but he sent the Holy Spirit that talks to us and communicates with us to lead us in those ways. Like the Holy Spirit's the one that's present now on earth, who is the one that's telling us to cast on the other side. And if we're not listening for that, what if they hadn't listened? What if they had just ignored that voice off in the distance and were like, hey, listen to that.
Would have been hungry.
Well, yes.
Blessing follows obedience.
Yeah,
Practically,
that's
yes.
great, actually. No, I think you're right,
Yeah,
Lucas.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're dead
It
on.
would have been like, yeah, okay. What? Thanks for the advice, bud. You're like just like, but you're right. They would have missed out.
They would have.
Yeah.
They could have resisted the blessing that he had for them.
Man, doesn't it scare you how many times that has happened in our lives and we don't even know it?
Hmm.
For the times
Like,
that I
it's
know
funny.
it, yeah.
We and we have a morning devotion every morning now for our staff meeting for our Zoom call, and this scripture was actually what someone spoke on this week, and he talked about, and he kind of narrowed in on the whole fish aspect of it and said, listen, like when you're obedient to God, like the blessings will follow, and sometimes it's people are like, oh, is it money, is it cars, is it a boatload of fish or
No.
whatever. It's not always, right, obviously.
No.
But like I'm sure we've all been in situations where you get to do something awesome. You get some kind of a cool experience, and you're like, man, like this never would have happened if I hadn't like listened to God or trusted God. Like, going to. I remember when I first started getting involved in camp as like a teenager, and I was like, I don't know, going to a place where I don't know a bunch of people, and I was like, it doesn't sound fun. You was comfortable staying at home and watching Star Trek reruns. That is comfortable. And instead, I go there and I make some of the best friends I've ever had, and I met eventually I get this job, and I meet my wife and all this stuff, right, and I grow so much as a person because I was obedient. Now the scary part is how many things have I missed out on because I haven't been obedient because I wanted to do the comfortable thing. But yeah, no, it's pretty amazing to think about all that.
Do you know what I'm picking up on in terms of I had to go I pulled up the scripture because of the fish that they drug up and all that, Jesus invited them to breakfast. He invited them to an intimate relational interaction with himself. And if we ignore him and we're basically saying, no, we don't want that. No one would want to openly admit, no, I don't want a relationship with Jesus, or no, I don't want to be invited into what he has for me. But when we ignore that call into the left side of the boat or whatever, we're effectively limiting or pushing off, that blessing that he has for us. Anyway, I know we already said that, but
yeah. All right. Well, I think that transitions well into the obedience piece. We kind of already talked about it. Is why what is it we need to be doing in this, and why is it important? So in the smorp of things, the obedience is, you personally, what do you feel that God is revealing to you in and through this scripture, right? And we've really kind of already talked a little bit about that, but does anybody have anything they want to add to it?
I think for me, something I've been kind of impressed on the last couple years or so is to put myself out there sometimes. Sometimes like we started at a new church 3-4 years ago, and the problem is I already have friend groups. Like I don't really need friends, but like not to sound like a jerk, I don't need friends. But the problem is if I just like go to church on Sunday and don't actually plug into that church, that's a problem, right? That's not how the church is intended to be,
right?
Because there's people there that I can bless, and they can be a blessing to me, and all that. All these things that can happen, right? For me, the obedience part has been like over the last couple of years, like, yeah, I'm going to go to the men's breakfast, and I might not know anybody, and I might just sit there and play with my my pancake or whatever. But it's never been like that. There's always someone to talk to. There's always something to do, and if I let my fears dictate or my desire for comfort dictate my actions, I'm going to miss out. And I'm going to not just miss out on like personal things for me, but like how can I impact the church? How can I impact the kingdom? Like if I want to be a part of that, I got to actually show up to other stuff, even if it's not what if I don't, just because I'm not connecting the dots doesn't mean that God hasn't already.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
That's already, I think that's going to make a nice t-shirt. It'd just be a stack of pancakes.
I've got all the friends I need. Thanks.
Playing with my pancakes. That'll be the whole, that'll be the t-shirt. There is 2 more pieces to this.
Hey.
Oh, sorry, Brad. Go ahead, man.
Mine's simple. Don't fish alone.
Don't fish alone. I like it. Absolutely.
Stay 6 feet apart, but don't be alone.
That's right. Very good. All right. The last 2 pieces of this are repentance and prayer. And this is something that you guys can kind of do on your own. But the idea of is if there's something that God has kind of jogged in your heart, or something that he's put on your mind that needs attention, bring it to him and pray about it and ask him what needs to be done in this. And don't just ask and sit and wait, because there are things you can do in order to seek out community and to find people that can support you and love you, and also simply in trusting. It does take time. We acknowledge that, but you have to take those steps into faith and into trusting. And the last part is to pray about it. We want to encourage you to make that just a regular habit within your life. So good job, guys. That was a good smorp.
If I can, just on the smorp thing, I know we do it here and we talk about it and have conversation and in chat. Smorp is, at least day to day, is meant to be journaled. It's not just meant to be something that you kind of read through and then forget about. It's meant to be something that you can go back to and look and see how God's answering prayer. And so if you do the smorp, make sure, get yourself a journal. I'm really bad at journaling. I have to be super disciplined to get into that, but just encourage people to do that. We're doing it with our youth group right now. We're doing smorp on Friday nights as part of our teaching. Well, actually as our teaching, and it's fun to sit and watch them. It's quiet. We put some worship music through Zoom, and they write their smorps, and we come back and share. It's a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Oh boy. Yeah. With that, Matt, just put a big old smile on your face, just for a second.
Did he do such a good job? We're gonna skip Super Fight.
No, here we go.
I want to say I nailed the smorp.
He did a great job.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Super Fight, and welcome to the arena, Matthew, Andrew, and Lucas, and myself, Brad.
So stupid.
We are going to battle in an arena of wits and wagers. No, just wits. And it is going to be like this. I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to slowly lose this voice. I'm going to draw a card, and it's going to have a weird character, superhero, or something on it. And then we're going to draw another 2 cards that are attributes that are ridiculous. Once we all have our characters, and Andrew, if you wouldn't mind writing them in our notes for us, as always, this is Andrew's segment. He just didn't know it. If you could write it for us, and then what's going to happen is we're going to battle one-on-one, mano a mano.
I yield.
Oh, don't yield. Don't do that. And the winners will take on the winners of the next 2 and then be declared the ultimate super fighter. So, gentlemen, here we go. Let's draw for Matthew because we got to get him thinking now. Matt, those are the attributes. I've played it enough. I should know. And you want to see the cards, eh?
Yeah, I need to see the cards because I don't trust you.
Okay, you just tell me when to stop then.
There is no conspiracy, Matt.
Right. Keep going. Keep going. Right there. That's the one.
Okay.
Oh, come on, lucky 7.
You're Dexter.
Serial killer. There you go.
Yeah.
Or is it from Dexter's lab? Who knows?
No.
Okay, and
whatever,
Matt,
whatever you choose.
Matthew.
Yeah, right there. And I want the 2 that are right back to back.
Okay, back to back 2. You got it. Heavens. You're Dexter on a jet ski. And see, look, he puts up this fight until he gets his character. So we just got to get him in. And your top half is, and we'll draw from the character card.
Another jet ski.
Yes.
Go ahead, Matt.
Right there.
Right there.
Oh, that's the one. This is going to be some type of mythical animal.
Slug.
I'm so sorry. Katniss, which I believe is from a Hunger Game.
That is awesome.
You got some bows and arrows.
Yeah. All right.
I
win.
Lucas.
All right. Okay, so it's
May
going
the
to be
odds be ever in your favor.
It's going to be Barbara and Lucas. Do you care for me to do this, or you just want me to draw?
No, you just go.
Yeah, okay. Lucas, you are. Oh, we can't do the Hulk again. Can we do the Hulk again?
No, let's not do it.
No. Katniss Everdeen.
Okay, then you, sir. Okay, we really went
The opposite direction.
Mr. Rogers.
Cheers. All right.
Yeah, give up.
No.
Can't kill Mr. Rogers.
Oh my
Be
word!
invincible.
And
Will.
your bottom half is
Katniss Everdeen.
your bottom half is a zombie.
Zombie. Okay,
See,
so
you're already dead.
So a slow-moving Mr. Rogers.
Can't
All
kill his
right.
bottom
No.
half.
A
Can't kill his
slower.
bottom half.
It's a slower moving.
Mr. Rogers.
And you're in a hot air balloon.
Oh.
You couldn't have picked 3 slower moving objects than a zombie, Mr. Rogers neighborhood,
Listen,
and a
I'm
hot
from
air balloon.
Sussex, home of the Atlantic Balloon Fiesta, not this year.
Yeah, do we
so
want
I'm
to
all
talk about that?
Hot air balloons.
Andrew, Hillary Clinton.
Ooh, topical.
Oh boy. Listen, I don't want to make this political, but she's killed a lot of people. I mean, we're not gonna-
Okay, It's getting weird. Armed with holy
Armed with
hand
a
grenades.
holy hand grenade. What's a holy hand grenade?
Just hand grenades.
I don't think.
Not if you're watching Ready Player One.
Okay, I'm not. And he knows kung fu.
Nice.
Okay, and finally, I shall be. A boy band.
Nice.
That's why I wore my.
one?
That's why I
Pick
wore my
one.
white hoodie.
Pick one.
98
Pick that.
degrees.
No, pick
98
that Korean
degrees.
one. The
Nick
the
Lachey.
Korean one.
Okay,
K-pop? No, that's the
I'm
the style. not
I'm
the
a
band.
full boy band armed with a chainsaw.
No, you're.
Okay.
With
So a
a
bunch of
chainsaw.
Yeah, a chainsaw.
Rats. Oh, and we're made of sand.
Yeah. Also,
Hard to hurt sand.
this is. Here we go. So Joel Bridges, we know Joel.
This is a weird
Joel
time to
asks-
start watching.
This is a
for the
weird
first
time to start watching for the first time. You're right. It is Joel. So Joel, I want you to rewatch this episode.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
then from the beginning, because then you will come back. I promise. You will find an enjoyable moment throughout this hour-long disaster.
At least one.
Yeah. And but all that to say, Joel, he's from home, and we're glad you're here, Joel. So glad.
Scott,
you're
can
here.
you explain the holy hand grenade? You can just type it. My turn's
Yes,
next.
it's
so I got
from
time.
Monty
I got
Python.
time.
It's very powerful.
Okay, here we go. Dexter on a jet ski.
All right, so who's
top hat? Do you guys just want to quit now? Because I win.
no? I want to hear the fight from of you and Lucas.
All
And
right.
the timer is going up, and Lucas, you begin in now.
All right, so I shamble, then I shamble some more, then I put on my red vest, then I get in my hot air balloon, and then I'm all like, shh, and then I go up super high, and I'm on kill because I'm super high, and bottom half of me's dead anyway, and I'm super nice. So there you go. I got lots of friends.
Is this a rap battle?
And my name's
rapping?
Mr. Rogers, and I'm here to say I'm gonna beat up Dexter
All
in
right.
the major way.
And I cede the rest of my time.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
to
there's
sing.
timer, okay.
I mean, I really don't have to even say anything, but
All right, are you ready, Matt? And your time begins now.
well, I'm Dexter, and so not only do I have the expertise of knowing how to kill because of my dual personality that I have,
Mhm.
but I'm also Katniss Everdeen, who is one of the most skilled killers that we've ever seen in a Hunger Games
Hope you're a good
movie.
jumper.
Yes, absolutely. Not only that, but I am so mobile on a jet ski that it's unbelievable how fast I can move across. Picture me and Joe, that guy at the end of Joe Exotic coming across the water on my jet ski. Anyway, all I have to say, I shoot your air higher
Oh,
balloon
your
with
time
my
is up. I'm so
bow and
sorry.
arrow from Katniss,
Is
which
it
drops
really
you
up?
down, and Dexter dices you up.
Time is up.
I was worried about that bow and arrow. That was
Was
my
it up
Achilles heel.
before the bow and arrow thing?
There was, I think so. There was a lot of exposition leading to the death
Sorry,
blow, but
the bow and arrow thing is not part of the consideration.
listen,
Oh, it absolutely is.
Joel must like what he's seeing because he's liked us, he's followed us, he's commenting. Joel, you're
It's
in.
shared
You're
because
in.
that's a super fan right there.
Yeah.
Who
Joel's a
shares.
jam.
If you've clicked share and made this available to people, that's
And
how we
people
know.
who vote for Mr. Rogers Zombie.
So now what you have to do is we're voting. We're going to decide who we think wins, and that person will go on to fight the winner of Andrew and I.
Mr.
Hillary
Zodgers.
Clinton versus the boy band.
So usually this is super delayed, and we wait a long time for them to vote. So why don't we battle while they're voting?
Hey,
There's the best idea Andrew's ever
Andrew,
come up
that's
with.
fantastic. All
Thank
right,
you,
Andrew,
Mark.
are you
I'll go
ready?
now.
On Andrew, on your mark, get set.
Wait, I
Go.
forget what I am. Okay, so
Always
what I'm gonna
surprised.
do is I'm just gonna
Check
whip
your emails.
a whole bunch of hand grenades at the sand boy band, and I'm just gonna keep tossing them. And then if there's anything left, I'm just gonna get in there with my kung fu moves, my Hillary Clinton kung fu moves, and I'm just gonna karate chop and sand boy band legs and arms off. And there's nothing about them regenerating into new sand boy bands, so I think that's the end.
Well, to you, Andrew, I'll make it my timer up. To you, Andrew, I say bye, because this boy band is coming at you with everything they've got.
That's not 98 degrees.
I know it's not. It's in sync. They form up with their sand enough to hold a single chainsaw, and they come at you. And it doesn't matter about kung fu. We chop off the limbs, and then when you throw your hand grenades, poof, sand. Done.
Like, you're dead, or like
No,
Yeah, you killed yourself.
I didn't kill myself because we're sentient sand, folks.
Sentient sand.
the bye thing was good.
That's
but
not part of
I can't vote for you because of the misreference to who sings that song.
I knew it was
Yeah.
in
I
sync.
believe in my heart he knew it wasn't 98 degrees.
I knew it wasn't 98 degrees. I totally
Did
knew.
you only pick 98 degrees just to be contrary, not to pick Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Is there a Christian boy band you could have picked?
Can you name a 98
DC
degree?
talk.
Nick
Lachey.
Nick Lachey.
Lachey,
Get
come
your head
on.
on.
Nick Lackey.
Scott votes for Matt, and Scott votes for me. He's the only person voting.
Yeah, and I vote in all
Come
this.
on, Joel.
I do also vote for Andrew, and I vote for me.
Well, of course you vote for you.
He votes for me because he knows he can beat
Why are you
me.
voting for him?
No, trust me.
Lucas, who you
Trust
voting
me,
for?
Brad.
I'm
Brad
gonna
is
vote
easier.
for Sandband.
Okay, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I would also
Come
because
on.
I would vote for Matt.
Yeah.
I think Matt gets it. Harold McDonald.
enough.
Thank you, Harold.
Oh, Harold, that's great. Good
So,
to see you, Harold.
ladies and gentlemen, if anybody wants to get into the chat before we make this official, but I think we're going to make it official.
So who am I playing?
It's
We
you
need somebody else to vote for
between
us two.
No, you know what? I think with Scott and Matt's vote, that's it.
Who won?
It looks like it's Andrew versus Matt.
Okay, just a second. I got to read Andrew's.
Hold on, because don't forget we draw another card here. Matt, tell me.
Oh, that's right.
Tell me when.
Okay, this is for Matt.
I'm going to start over.
Oh, good. Go. Yep, right there. Back two.
Back one.
Scott only voted for you because he knows you hate this game.
It's too bad, Matt, that you did that. You're throwing fireballs, which is fine. Anybody notice
Which
that
is fine.
Well, the card that he told me to move away from was like a carte blanche card where you just write whatever you wanted.
I wouldn't have come up with anything as good as throwing fireballs.
Okay, and for Andrew, just tell me when, brother. Tell me when.
You just got a late vote.
Oh, Matthew Canhigh
That
saying
just
it's Matt
makes-
Bradley.
Yeah.
He just
That
wants to see
makes
us
things
battle.
more complicated though.
Thanks, Moose. I appreciate the vote,
Listen,
big
you
guy.
could just pick any card. It's fine.
And it shall be
No
picked.
one votes for Mr. Zombers.
You're a hoarder. Hillary Clinton is a hoarder.
All right.
She doesn't hoard emails, I'll tell you that.
No. Wow, you had a productive day. Email
Good one.
empty. All right, let's see. It's going to be Matt begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I am Dexter, so I am a mass murderer, and I murder you. Covered. Katniss is one of the most skilled bow and arrowists that you've ever met.
Here we go.
archer.
Bow
Not
and
only that,
arrowist.
but your kung fu does not matter because in the speed of my jet ski, but also the distance I have because of my archery, your kung fu is ineffective. Not only that, but I throw fireballs, which I actually use to distract you.
How's he driving this jet
And then
ski?
bow and arrow you right in the throat. Hillary, down.
Okay.
All right.
Am I
Andrew,
good to go?
and begin.
All right. So what I do is I take my hoard. So I'm just going to gather my giant hoard of garbage that I have, build this giant fort,
Could have
and I'm
hoarded
just going to
anything.
hide behind it. And he can throw and shoot whatever he wants at me, but I have my protection. And I'm just going to be lobbing grenades over the top of my fort into the water because he's apparently driving around on his jet ski. And I'm just going to lob and lob and lob. And then if anything comes near me, I'm going to use my kung fu to dodge. So I'm just going to use my kung fu and
I'm not coming near that. Not only that, but I just
You
burned down
can't
your
chime in. You're done.
your pile of pizza boxes that you hoarded. Fireball.
Is
That's
kung
my biggest concern.
is kung fu generally used as a defensive?
I didn't say I hoarded pizza boxes.
All right.
Look, I just look at you. You hoard pizza boxes.
I'm gonna go ahead. Well, I've been to your apartment when you both lived together, and Little Caesars just opened. There's gonna be some pizza boxes
Oh, yeah.
there for
You
either
know,
of you.
You gotta get some
I'm
pizza
going
boxes.
to. I'm gonna vote for Matt just because I'm really worried about that hoard because most hoards are flammable. I would say.
Hillary is already dead, so she
It doesn't
can't
matter.
die.
He said he's
Andrew.
shooting them in the air.
I gotta be honest. I'm voting. There was too much inconsistency I felt with Matt's. It was so many hands moving, doing fireballs, and trying to shoot while also driving a jet
Oh,
ski.
you mean strategy? You're not a fan of strategy.
Well, I'm not.
That's what I'm hearing.
Well,
No, what
I think it
you've
was
got a
good.
spiteful
I think it was
vote.
good. I'm using my
No,
I'm
Andrew,
a
he's
hoarder,
voting
and
for
I
you.
found a
Oh.
way to use hoarder.
Andrew,
in
chill
my
out. He's voting for
explanation.
you.
well, I was, and then Andrew kind of didn't know what he was talking about for a second.
No, I'm arguing with Matt.
My
No, I'm
vote.
talking about good strategy. Brad's saying it was scattered. Has Brad
Well,
ever
I'm
made
saying
it
that
out of
I
the
had
first
good
round of this
strategy.
game?
My vote is for. That's why I keep playing it. My vote is for law of averages. My vote is for Andrew. Scott's vote is for Andrew.
Lucas votes for me.
And
just
the
need to
game
go
right
to
now, so I
second.
can be champion.
And it's 10
No,
o'clock.
we gotta give everybody a chance to vote here.
It's 10 o'clock, y'all.
Cut the feed. Cut the feed.
Cut the feed.
Cut the feed.
With the feed. All right.
I think moving forward, not tonight. Ryan Foy votes for me.
No, he didn't. He said nice background, Matt.
he said my name.
Yeah, that's not
He
a
said
vote
my name.
said
That's
my
what matters. He goes, Matt, check mark, fist bump.
for your background.
Yeah, whatever. Can I say that if we're going to continue to do this stupid game, that in the
And you
final
promise
round,
not to cheat?
and only how do you cheat in this? In the final round, only the final round, there is a short 10-second counter
Like a rebuttal.
to the other people's points.
See, that's how he cheats. He countered.
No, I'm saying we should do
He's
that.
trying to make his cheating legal.
Okay.
I'm just-
Okay. Well, it's like
Are we open to that?
it's like doing an actual debate
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
using
Which I
debate.
think
As
is what
long
this
as you
game
can
is supposed
actually
to be.
keep it to 10 seconds.
The best part is Matt is arguing to make this a longer segment, which is very funny to me.
No, what I'm arguing for is to make this game less stupid.
All right, Lucas. So remind everybody not to go anywhere because we have the afterglow coming next.
That's
Yeah,
right. We
just
have the
remind them.
afterglow. As soon as we sign off, stick around for all you video folks, and you're going to get a special treat. Well, maybe. You can follow our podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at
He's got a
Oxford
stack
Holy
of
Club.
pancakes there.
Throw up the hashtag OH Club. We would love a 5-star rating on iTunes. And if you leave us a 5-star rating, we'll read it on the air.
You can also send your questions in. If you have general questions, maybe about a smorp, or you have a tiebreaker you want us to answer, you can send those in. You can visit oxfordholyclub.com, fill out the form there, and we'll get that. You can look at our merch as well, and maybe buy it too. You can look
And
and
we
buy.
don't pay to advertise. So any growth that we have comes from you sharing us with others. And
Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that we are radio professionals? And until next time, keep spiritually fit and have fun and stay at home. All right.
All you need to do to be a radio professional is buy a mic that's not built into your computer.
yeah,
And
but nowadays.
All right.
Um,
Here, hold on.
I should tell the story sometime about how I almost bought the Christian radio station in Moncton.
That would be fun. Before you do that, let's get into. Welcome to the afterglow. The afterglow. Welcome to the afterglow.
I think we need to get Lucas to sing one of our bit
To
segments.
the afterglow.
Yeah,
don't you know that's him screaming in Super Fight?
yeah, that's right.
All right.
100% seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
100% serious. Beckwith, read the notes ahead of time so we can transition through the check-in a little smoother.
We're still on, aren't
Hey,
we? We're in the afterglow.
We're still on. We're in the afterglow. We're not in the critique
God
zone.
says something I said was offensive, but I don't know which thing it was.
What did you say? You didn't say anything offensive.
I don't know how I got away with nothing offensive. Come on there,
Oh,
pancakes.
don't worry, you did.
Well, let's get the rewind going here. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
So for the afterglow, we've got a couple of different games here, and I'm not sure how well they're going to work. So this is kind of a test. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm not going to be able to see you, but I think you guys still get to see the call. And I'm not sure what people online will see. But we're going to do a game called the Zoom In game, and the Zoom In game is simple. I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures, and you have to try to guess what they are. And then we'll slowly start zooming out a little bit. It'll make sense.
Shouldn't it be called the Zoom Out game?
Whoa. Yeah, it really should be. Normally,
I can
this
see
game is played for points, but we're just doing this to see who wins. All right.
So for points.
So the way it's going to work, if someone in chat thinks they have it, let us know maybe before. But there's also a delay, so I suspect the guys will get it first. All right. So here comes your first item. Ready, fellas?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. And I'm giving about 10 seconds on the
Oh my
slide.
goodness.
Cartoon character, foot.
No. It's not like a Twitter thing.
Okay, no. I'm actually need to bring my timer up.
Yeah, let's only do 5 seconds per.
Yeah,
slide.
just keep it quick.
Okay.
snappy.
All right. Well, then let's move to the next. And boom.
Cheetos.
Oh, Cheetos!
Oh,
Yeah.
Just a hint of that tail, and we knew what it was.
Lucas,
There
you were
go.
right. It was a sneaker. My
It was a
apologies.
sneaker.
Congratulations. All right, gentlemen, here comes our next one. Boom. Oh, whoop.
Oh, Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo. Darn
Ah, that one's on me.
it. It's on.
Click the wrong slide.
We just watched that over the weekend, so I would have got that anyway, guys.
All right. Here comes the next one. Boom.
Tennis racket.
Tennis racket.
Oh, man.
I think
Lucas,
that was Lucas.
Lucas got that
No
one.
way.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Ah, pretty good.
I was second. You were a distant third.
Oh.
All right, and here comes the next one.
PlayStation controller.
What?
Oh wow!
Wow.
Impressive.
Good job.
For a guy that claims to not be a video gamer.
Yeah.
Well, he
Oh,
is
I
these
am now.
days.
All
I
right.
am now.
Okay, and here we go with the next.
That's not
And-
allowed to
Bert
go
or
on.
Arnie?
Here comes the next.
Second. Hold on.
Oh,
So it's a girl.
Slanket. It's a slanket.
Jesus.
Snuggie.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. It's Jesus. Darn it.
Well,
Slanket? What are you talking about?
It's
talking
like a
about
made up name. It's
are
a
you
made up
talking
name
about
for
a
the
Snuggie?
Snuggie.
A Snuggie?
Slanket.
On what was it? 30 Rock. They were making fun of him and they called them
Oh, okay.
slankets.
Here comes
I couldn't
the.
remember what-
I don't know who got that. Here comes the next.
Wasn't
I got
me.
that one.
Salad. How did I get salad?
You
first,
didn't,
guys?
and you're
That's
wrong.
Embarrassing.
No.
What?
Taco.
Taco.
Burrito.
Taco.
Oh, I'm killing
Taco,
this.
taco me into a salad.
All right. I anticipate you getting this instantly.
Guitar.
Matt.
What?
How did?
Oh, I
this
was
is so
way ahead of you guys.
delayed.
No way. I was way ahead of
I
you guys.
got that before he said it.
Here comes the
I'm
next one.
leaving. This is stupid.
I can't see if you leave or not.
Okay.
Okay, just a sec.
I'm
That's
thinking...
a cat on a post.
Squirrel.
Oh, Andrew.
Are you sure
I
it
was-
wasn't Matt?
I was
You
close.
sure it wasn't Matt?
Hey, don't throw shade at me, brother.
I was close.
All right, here comes the next one. I thought no one in youth would get this.
Phone cord.
Phone cord. Old school rotary phone.
Old school rotary phone with Lucas.
I said phone cord.
Well, yeah, that's not an old school rotary phone, though.
Part of it. I also said sneaker. I didn't get it for that.
I'll be interested and concerned to see who gets this.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is gonna reveal a lot.
It's
It's jeans. It's mom jeans.
jeans, mom jeans. Yeah. Friends.
Oh, wait. No. This is wait. Is this Carmen?
Oh,
Oh, The Rock. It's The Rock. It's The
Yeah.
Rock. It's The Rock.
It's The Rock.
How did you know that?
The Rock
That's like a
says
classic picture.
that's an awesome picture of him.
Oh,
People
really?
dress up like that all the time
Seriously?
to make fun of it, like to pose with it. Yeah, that's a good game, Brad.
That is.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
it.
I completely
done,
slayed
Cooler.
at it,
I
but
hated
yeah.
it.
All,
I hate it.
Lucas, you got anything for us tonight?
All right. Well, next up we have some Pictionary.
Yes.
Would someone like to go first, or shall I take the first kick at the can? Or
That's on
what do guys
you.
think?
You lead us in, brother.
It's on me, eh? All right.
It's probably the Matrix, so somebody else.
Let me
can-
gain share going.
Scott Layton. Slanket? Jesus? Bah.
Like it, Jesus.
Actually, wait.
Lucas started screen sharing. Turns out he's watching Star Trek the whole time. He's
I
on
was
he's
gonna
on
try something
Amazon.
fancy, but I'm
Slankets.
no longer.
Slankets? Question mark.
Slanket. I had a slanket for a while.
It's a
Hey, Lucas,
snuggie.
what you doing?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
While you're rearranging,
Here we
your... here we go.
Okay.
All right.
So, this is going to be, well, it is a movie.
I think we'll do this and bring this in.
Passion of the Christ. Oh, A Knight's Tale.
No,
Gladiator.
Oh, Iron Man.
300.
Is it the Monty Python movie?
The Rocketeer.
Yes.
Wow.
Well done. I didn't even get a chance to draw his rocket pack.
Wow. Super impressed.
There you go. That's a deep cut right there. All right.
Nice.
How do we clear that? Oh, it's gone.
There you go. It's gone. She's
All right.
gone.
All right, Andrew.
Who's up next?
Andrew's up next.
Andrew is up next, I guess.
Okay. This obviously is going to be a movie because they're the most fun to draw.
Agreed.
Oh shoot, I just had one. It's like kind of based off of.
Well, no, you don't tell us.
He's not gonna draw. He's just gonna talk us through it.
Somebody else go. I gotta think of a movie.
I'm ready.
And this, okay.
I'm ready. Okay. Oh, I forget how to do this. Share screen. All right. Whiteboard. Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Movie, eh?
Movie.
Flubber.
Oh, Onward. No.
Every time someone draws legs first, it's Onward.
That's it. I haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah, seriously, eh?
Junior.
I feel
Ghostbusters.
I feel like you drew this last time.
No, Ghostbusters. That's a good guess.
What have you been watching? Not a few good men. No,
Contagion. Outbreak.
no. Is he a diver?
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Way to go.
Who's that?
Who is
Way to-
that?
What do you mean?
Buzz
Who is
Lightyear?
that? What? That's Buzz.
And what's the thing on his poor back?
Oh, I see.
It's his-
I get it
It's
now.
wings.
It's his wings.
To be fair, he doesn't have like a helmet with a face hole in it. He just has a clear thing, but I mean that's fine. It's just a little note.
Oh,
Whatever.
it's just a little note.
I'm
All
just
right,
gonna
very
draw
good.
the whole Toy Story thing.
I could. Do you want me to animate the whole movie for you right now?
All right, Andrew,
All right.
are you up?
I got one. Yeah. Okay. This is a movie.
They're all movies. The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston.
Let's see here.
The Rock.
Holes. Oh, Star Wars. That's Jabba.
No, that I think that's the sun.
Sun. Could be the sun.
Moana.
Make way, make way.
Karate Kid?
Okay.
Dora, the new Dora movie, the live action Dora movie. Oh, brother.
Can't see anything
Yeah.
over there.
He's spending all of his time drawing a background.
No, try to draw the whole thing.
The
Okay.
whole thing. The Mohegan Sun.
Okay.
We've lost people.
What in the world? Is this the Crudes?
No.
Oh, it's a
Boats.
boat all of a sudden. Oh,
Noah's Ark.
Truman.
Yeah,
Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Wow.
Very good.
Great one, Andrew. Oh, isn't that such a great movie?
It is so good.
That
Case I
is-
don't see ya.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
I know I haven't got one, but may I
Oh,
draw?
it's so good. Hey, Jen Carey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Afterglow. Brad's up.
Yeah. Okay. Pop culture, y'all. Pop
Oh
culture.
boy.
Pop culture.
Pop culture.
Dabbing. Bottle flipping.
Boy. Where's the erase?
I have no part of this. Is that a lag?
It's supposed to be.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness, Brad.
As part of canon, it's a leg.
It's
All
just
right.
Onward.
It's a shoot.
Onward.
All right.
it
Pop
a
culture.
leprechaun? Oh,
it,
it's the floss. It's the floss.
Floss. Oh, I guess he's still drawing, so maybe not.
You didn't say anything.
It's a dance.
What?
It's a Fortnite dance.
Teach me how to Dougie. Let's see.
It.
This is so hard.
Okay, a lot of hair detail. Still spending a lot of
important.
time on the hair. He's got ears. We get it.
Or was whoever said Fortnite dance like on the right
Stanky
track?
leg. Scott coming in with stanky leg. Oh, and it's a stanky leg. Now watch me whip. Watch me nene. Teaching on Zoom.
Yeah, he's got a little
Magic show.
It's
Penn and Teller. Penn and
throwing
Teller.
darts.
This is Andrew drawing the Truman Show.
let's see
Flannel
here.
board.
You got a snake. You got
river.
maybe
That's a
river.
Oh, Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Hold on, just let me-
sneaky little bush.
Just put a little bush right here.
Pop
There you go.
culture.
This is a happy little accident.
I have a Bob Ross mug, and when you put hot liquids in it, the painting appears.
Nice.
Wow.
It's pretty great. So I put it through the dishwasher, which apparently you're not supposed to do, and wrecked it.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that was
Oh, doctor.
that was
well
fun.
done.
Oh boy.
And did you have another one there? I thought we have that other one, or is that for another?
I'm happy to try it. It could go. It could not be fun, and it was fun with our youth, but we're not our youth. So
What's the time frame on it normally?
I don't know. It didn't take us that long to kill this poor cat. The name
Okay.
of the name of the game is Dead Cat. The premise is it's a bunch of video clips where you answer questions about this cat that you're trying to keep alive, and once it dies, if you make a mistake or just are dumb, the cat's dead, the game's over, and you're supposed to pick up where you left off next week. It's supposed to be some kind of game that just kind of keeps bringing people back to
Like
play.
a meta narrative?
Like a meta narrative. Anyway, we can give it a try. Again, with me
Yeah.
sharing my screen, I won't be able to see you guys, so we'll have to talk it out.
You're
You're
not,
not
missing
missing
anything.
much.
All right, the screen is shared. Almost.
It's not for me.
No, I know.
there we
The
go.
screen is shared. And it's narrated, so that'll be fun.
Look at all the icons Brad has. Word,
Oh man,
Outlook,
that's
PowerPoint.
Trouble City right there.
Trouble City. You're living in Trouble City. All right, so let's clear that. Bring this in. Share it.
Oh, stanky leg is still one of my favorite things that's been said today.
Oh, good.
Stanky leg
They-
and slankets.
They can't see us tonight right now either, can they? So I can like blink and go get
Pick your
water or
nose.
whatever.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can't
man.
blink
All right.
normally.
Here we go.
Well, I feel like I blink too often.
Who pays attention to that?
I do.
Well, hello there.
Oh,
I'm sorry to
Now I'm
interrupt. I
blinking
can
too
see
much.
that you and your group are in the middle of something very important. It's just, well, I found this stray cat in the wild, and I was wondering if you would maybe, take care of it for a while. You would? Well, that's great news. Just remember, owning a cat is a big responsibility. You have to feed it, you have to bathe it, but above all, you have to keep it alive. Welcome to the world of Dead Cat. Let me explain how this game is going to work. Every round is a different question, and every question will determine the fate of your cat. You and your group are entirely in charge of the fate of your cat. Some of the choices that you will make will be good for your cat, and some of the choices that you make will be, not so good for your cat. I think you'll understand as the game goes on. One more thing. You and your group have one extra life card, but only one, so use it sparingly. Just remember, you need to keep your cat alive. I think you'll understand as we move to the next round, so let's go ahead and head to round 1 together. See you there.
We're 4 intelligent dudes. We can keep a cat alive.
You'd think.
You'd think. Here we go.
we killed a lot of cats growing up.
Awesome. You made it. Well, just like every pet in the world, your cat needs a name. So what would you and your group like to name your cat? Would you like to name your cat Fluffy, Snowball,
Can't make it squawk or
Thaddeus the
whatever?
Third, or Poop Nugget? Talk
Poop
it over
Nugget.
with your
Thaddeus the
group
Third.
and let me
Thaddeus
know when
the
you
Third.
decide.
Poop nugget.
Thaddeus.
Okay,
2 for Thaddeus.
3 for Thaddeus. All right, so we're
I
going.
hate this game.
Of course.
We gotta let him have an early win.
Thaddeus the Third. Your great grandfather will be so proud to know that you named your cat after him. Congratulations. Let's move on to round number 2.
We did it, guys. Round 2. So far, so good.
All right. Is there a name that leads to the cat dying?
I don't know. It hasn't happened.
Welcome to round 2. Ding, ding, ding. Your alarm clock is going off, and you realize that you haven't fed your cat. You look through your cabinets and your refrigerator, but you can't find cat food anywhere. What should you feed your cat? Should you feed your cat a sponge, raw bacon, Pop-Tarts, or a box of Staples? Make sure to talk this one over with the group. Let me know when you decide.
I'm casting.
Pop-Tarts.
I was casting a vote for Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. Yeah, Pop-Tarts.
Matt.
Yep, Pop-Tarts.
It could be raw bacon, but I don't think
Can
we
you
should
win?
risk it.
Can you win at this game?
Yep. Yep. Okay. So we're going.
You get a dog.
We're going Pop-Tarts. Here we go.
You fed your cat Pop-Tarts. Nothing like a box of fake fruit sugar bread. Your cat loved it, even asked for seconds. Great job. You're a great cat owner. Let's continue on to round
Good job,
3.
everybody.
Yes.
Now round 3. I have not seen anything past round 3. Here we go.
Oh, really?
Oh my. What is that awful smell? You look around and you realize that this terrible smell is coming from your cat. You should
nuggets.
probably give him a bath. Now, how would you like to bathe your cat? Should you chuck it in the neighbor's pond? Dunk it in a bucket of hand sanitizer? Spray it with a bottle of Axe? Or, who cares? Bathing is for weaklings. Talk it over with the group. Let me know what you guys
Do
decide.
nothing.
Do nothing.
I would do nothing. I would do nothing.
Cats clean themselves.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay, so we're voting for do nothing.
Do nothing. Yep. Final answer.
Here's the thing, guys. Bathing is actually a very important thing. I would have hoped you would have learned that by now. Your lack of hygiene killed your cat. Dead cat.
Game over.
I agree with Matt. This game's
Good.
stupid.
Yep. Glad this is over.
Hold on. Now,
No, don't play the card.
don't. All right, that's what I'm asking. Are we playing the card or no?
No, we'll save it.
We'll save it.
What are we going to save it for?
Well, we'll come back and
Not
do this
playing right
again,
now.
Matt. Let's see. How do I get back to my normal screen? There we go.
I see you.
You see me again?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, we're good. All right, gentlemen. Well,
Here we go.
I think that was
So
all.
listen, 2 weeks away
Yeah, we really should have brought this up sooner.
from the big 100.
Yeah, that's right.
And
The big
people left
100.
before them or us.
Yeah,
The
come on.
big 100.
100 episodes. Be interesting to see what people think we should do for 100.
Yeah,
If
we
you have
got
an
some pretty-
idea,
We've cooked up some pretty good ideas so far, but yeah, we're open to suggestions.
All right. Well,
where can they drop off those suggestions, Brad?
oh my goodness. You can follow our podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Oh wait, that's not what you mean. No, drop them off on our website. You can just go to the form that's there and let us know. Or if you just want to reach out to us on Facebook, we're there as well. So if there's something that you think that'd be fun for 100 episodes, we're trying to think of things that are 100 themed. So, but I mean, suggest anything. But let me just tell you, we're thinking 100 themed, since it kind of flows thematically. Gentlemen, is there anything else you guys want to add?
Good to go.
Good to go.
I...
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you again for joining us and staying after for the Afterglow. Hope you've had a lot of fun. And gentlemen, I look forward to seeing you next week for number 99. Until next time,
99.
keep spiritually fit and have fun.
fun.